And I press record.
You really are.
Kaylee's learned.
I've learned how to press, and then to pause it, I press pause. And then I press record again to start recording again. I learned all of this.
Or do you press the stop and switch everything off?
Just get you.
She just rips the plug out the wall.
Screaming.
You can't do it.
Well, I'm glad we recorded this because it's all been gold so far.
To episode 6 of the Deleted Scene podcast. We are a gaggle of London-based creatives, filmmakers, actors, all sorts of things, plus a physicist from Milton Keynes who gather together and talk movies and films and TV and web series and online content and basically anything that takes our interest.
I love the word gaggle.
A gaggle.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like,
Gaggle.
are there enough of us to constitute a gaggle?
Someone look up the definition of a gaggle.
I just like the just
Well,
for
it's
some
geese,
reason.
isn't it?
A gaggle of geese.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
Oh,
think-
so you just have to have more than one.
A
Yeah.
group is more than 3, isn't it? Anything more than 3 is just...
you say the word gaggle,
Or
and I
whatever.
just assume that we all stand together and move, like shift slowly in a line. 'Cause I just imagine us.
I don't know what the, I don't know what the
I don't know
logic
why.
behind that is.
It makes sense in my head.
Isn't that more like a herd or flock?
Yeah, like when you see like
Kaylee can't say
Flamingos.
flamingos.
But that's the
flam-
flamboyance of flamingos. A
It
group
is,
of
isn't it?
flamingos
Maybe
is
we
a
should
flamboyance.
introduce
Surely
ourselves.
it's a
as we're
coming out to
flamboyance of
flamingos.
London-based creatives.
We're a flamboyance.
I like
Yes.
constellation.
That's also good.
'Cause it's
You can get an improbability of wildebeest as well, which I really
we have
enjoy.
an improbability of London-based creatives.
We really are an improbability.
I love this. Anyway, gaggle is a good word.
Carry on.
Continue.
I will carry on, whether you like it or not. As I was trying to say, our new episodes go out every Wednesday of us talking about pop culture and media and all that sort of thing. We want to promote web series and independent film, and we're hoping to get more people on the show who we can interview and talk about those sorts of things. Our first interview episode went out last Friday. It was us interviewing everyone at VidFest at Comic-Con, and it's already one of our most listened to episodes.
Is
Yeah.
it?
yeah.
Yay.
It's quite a
because
popular
it's
one.
less us and more other people.
That's one way of looking at it.
That's what we were doing wrong.
Damn it, we keep talking.
You can find us on Twitter and interact with us at @DeletedScenePod or use the hashtag DeletedScenePod in order to talk with the show. We'll have some more structure to that. We need to get more audience interaction going on because that's where we keep lacking and we keep forgetting to do it in many ways. The podcast is brought to you by Flitter Films and ActingHour.com. Flitter Films is myself and Kaylee.
Hi.
And we make short films and web series. We haven't made anything for a little while, but there's plenty of our old stuff you can find online. And we hope we can get back into making stuff in 2017. Woo! And Acting Hour is represented today, or as usual, by Mel.
Acting Hour for all your networking needs.
That is
We've got this so down now.
We
You
got
have.
it. We got it. That is it.
Amazing.
Great.
You can go to actinghour.com for all your movie reviews, news and interviews, as well as headshot services and promotional materials for your independent film or web series. I write reviews for them. You guys send me out like 2 or 3 times a week to film screenings.
Random films, yeah.
You do. And I write reviews for you, so you can find my reviews on there. Or if you're an actor in need of a headshot, if you have a film or web series to promote, then Acting Hour has your back, as well as offering opera competitions and promotions, such as Actor of the Week and many other things. Web series of the month, is that the one?
Web series of the month, short film of the month, and this is where Lydia kills me because I can't remember all of them. There's another one that's every month.
Actor of them?
So there's Actor of the Week,
Actor of
there's
the week.
short film of the month, web series of the month. Oh, and trailer of the month. Why did I forget that?
Yeah,
We
I
like
was
a
gonna
good
say,
trailer.
is it all kind of based on the phases on the moon or something?
Yes, yes, it is. That's
Don't
how we work.
dilute
We're
it.
werewolves.
I also want to say thank you to Matthew Parker for making our opening theme tune. You can find him at MattJP Music on SoundCloud for all his other stuff. He very nicely... He didn't make that for us, did he? He just sort of gave it to us, I think.
Yeah, because
Yeah, he didn't do it specifically for us. He made it already. And
But
we
I
went,
like
Can we
it.
take this?
Yeah, I
He's
like it as
"Yeah."
well.
It's super dramatic.
It
I can
is.
sort of imagine the apocalypse happening behind it as we run away.
That's essentially what's going to happen.
I imagine the news flash of the apocalypse coming right after it. Actually,
Yeah.
Just as we're like, that'll be our. We'll do a little video once we have a YouTube channel. There'll be a video of us doing some sort of
Like
something
we've
apocalyptic.
created the apocalypse, and then we just run away from it. Going,
and take no responsibility at all.
yeah.
Grab your spoons and go.
Grab this person, go. The world's ending.
Oh dear.
Leaping out of green screen explosions and things like that.
Yeah. If you haven't heard the other podcast, there is an episode where we talk about The Room, which has a whole
Yes.
thing about spoons. So if we
Yes.
keep saying grab your spoons, you clearly told me off because didn't somebody say online that we have too many in jokes?
Yeah, we have a bit more in jokes.
Yeah, one of you lovely listeners told us that we joke about too much in ways that don't necessarily make sense. And
Yeah.
grab your spoons and go is probably one of those.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is anytime that we mention it, I'll just put it in the show notes and then go like into an explanation of what that means, so that people will know.
There's a thing in The Room, isn't there, where there's always a picture of a spoon in every scene, and people who go
Yeah.
to the Prince Charles Cinema to see it take plastic spoons and chuck them at the screen.
I mean, we're all looking forward to doing that in February.
Yeah, we want to go. Yeah, we're going to go in
February.
February.
Gonna go see The Room.
So we're
Oh,
going
with
to take
some
our spoons and go.
We're gonna grab our spoons and go.
There we are.
It's gonna be great.
My name's Christian Mitchell Dolby. You can find me online. I am the One Bearded Man on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. Immediately across from me is Mel, who I've already introduced, from actinghour.com.
Yeah, you can also find just me on Twitter, not the acting hour, me, at Melly Crossy. Same thing on Instagram is at Melly Crossy. And on YouTube is Sarky Melly,
Sarky Melly.
which used to be my old email address.
Yay.
We even had Sarky's dad. My dad's was Sarky's dad. We themed.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And you can find Acting Hour at Acting Hour, and you do the hashtag Acting Hour every Wednesday.
Yep, between 1 and 2 is the English one, and then we have a US one as well, which is between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. English time, which is between 1 and 2 in LA.
Cool. And you can go on there and use the hashtag Acting Hour to promote your stuff and network and just
find things and
chat.
ask questions and join in and enter all of our lovely competitions.
excellent work. And to my right is Matt, our
Hello.
physicist from Milton Keynes.
Yeah, I was created in a lab out of all the evilest parts of the most evil film critics in the world,
Excellent work.
and then with a few bits of Weevil in there as well. Because have you ever worked in a genetics lab? It's fucking boring.
Okay.
Every so often you just go, oh, should we cure this cancer? Yeah, let's put a bit of squirrel in there too.
Is it like Splice? Is that film?
Yes.
Splice, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that
Yeah.
film.
Tragically awful, yeah. Sorry, I
I
haven't.
I don't know.
I don't
I haven't
really
seen it, so
remember
it.
I'm
I don't
going to say
remember it.
yes, absolutely.
I will lend it to you. You will realise.
There we
Is that with the
Sounds like a
alien?
punishment.
Yeah,
had
like the
sex
thing
with
that they
Adrian Brody or
make,
something?
and then like
Adrian
they-
Brody's in it, right?
Yeah, so it's two scientists that make. It's like a cross between a human and like a bunch of other animals, and it's really
She has a
odd.
tail, right? She has a tail?
She has a tail,
Yeah.
and then at some point, spoiler, Adrian Brody sleeps with her, despite the fact that he made her. He's like her dad,
Yeah,
and then he
it's
has
creepy.
sex with her,
Yeah, it's creepy.
and it's just so deeply wrong. It's a terrible film.
I
Yeah,
like the
it does,
idea.
It does sound like biologists.
It's
That's
exactly
literally
the sort of
what
thing
Matt
they do.
does. He just does splice.
He makes things
He
and
makes
has sex
things.
with them.
You heard it here first, guys.
I made you breakfast. Don't eat it.
Oh,
God.
lower the tone.
Oh, yeah, I know it.
Christian.
At Mission Control, we have Kaylee Powell.
Yes, it's me.
It is
You
you.
used my full name and it freaked me out a bit. You don't use my full name that often. I changed my Twitter handle, so I'm now at Kaylee Powell.
I need to do that as well. I didn't realise you could do that.
Caley. That's how you spell Katie.
That's how
Thanks for
you
clearing
spell
that
Kaylee.
up.
That's
That's
not
how
how most
anyone
people
else
spell
spells
Kaylee.
That's how my parents decided to spell
That's why you and
Kaylee.
me work together, because we have weirdly spelt names.
Yes.
'Cause I'm Christian with a K.
I'm Kaylee with a C.
So basically, you've got each other's
We
first
did.
letter.
We did.
Yeah, exactly, which is why we work so well together.
This is the thing. Every time I go to a film screening, everyone on the list is alphabetized because obviously only invited people get in, and I go, it's Christian Mitchell Dolby, and then they just can't find me for
Yeah,
ages.
'cause
Then
they're
I suddenly
looking at
remember,
Cs.
look under K, and no one ever finds me. It's very annoying.
Yeah, and I just get
Why are you
people calling me
alphabetized
like,
by your first name?
I don't know, but they always are at these film screenings. I'm not sure why.
Extraordinary behaviour.
I always get people who call me Callie.
Now you're glad you
or
don't go to them.
Yes.
Callie or Carly or any kind of variation.
I get Kirsten
there.
on the phone. People just read my name and call me up like cold caller. So Kirsten, I'm like, no.
Every time I go
Not since
in
the
a coffee
operation.
shop and they want to put my name on a cup, I say my name. I swear to God, I must sound like I have a cold permanently because every time I say my name is Mel, they write Belle on the cup. As
Ah.
much as I would like to be a Disney princess, I am not. And then that saddens me.
Oh.
This is my problem with my name.
I
I
love
need
the
a bit
fact
of
we've all,
therapy.
we've all got problems with the name. It was Matt. You got any problems with your name?
No.
Good. There we go.
Everyone
That was an
gets-
interesting segment.
Actually, no. The only problems anyone I get is sometimes get called Max.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because Matt's too confusing for some people.
Yeah.
There's too many Matts.
No, they
in the
hear it
world.
as Max.
So some-
Okay.
Yeah, people hear my name as Hayley. I feel like I need to go Hayley.
Ailey. That's a
Please
weird name.
start
Hayley.
introducing yourself that way.
I am Cat Hayley at Mission Control.
So let's get some news and reviews from us. What's been going on? What have we been watching and what's been happening in the world? Kaylee, you've got the machine in front of you. The machine of knowledge.
I have the machine of knowledge. In front of me. Yeah, so kind of keeping the theme of what we said about last week with like remakes and reboots and things like that. I'm just here to inform you of more remakes and reboots
Okay.
and things that are happening. So there's going to be a Highlander reboot. There we go.
I'm entirely against that.
So
like I
John
heard
Wick's co-director, Chad Stahelski,
He's going to reboot Highlander.
is going to be rebooting Highlander.
Oh,
So
now I'm
that's
kind of actually almost happy about that.
So that's sort of
Could be good.
the news. I mean, that's all we have so far is the fact that they're rebooting, and we don't have any news about like casting or any news about anything. Really, that's it. But just to kind of say, rebooting that. So,
Highlander's pretty old. I like the idea of remaking something that's really old. I mean, maybe I still would probably prefer a sequel. Again, I'm not sure why they don't do sequels
yeah,
instead
this,
of reboots.
Yeah, so they're gonna just that's it. That's the news. They're gonna be rebooting it, and that's all we know. But once we get more news about it,
Fact,
we'll just kind
Come
of
to think of it, isn't
inform.
Christopher Lambert about as old as Sean Connery was in the original one now?
It'd be-
So as well as that, there's also Dune.
Oh yeah,
Dune.
yeah. they're gonna
So
do Dune.
Legendary Entertainment has grabbed the right to Frank Herbert's Dune. So they're going to be
That'd be
doing
quite
that.
cool.
Am I the only one that doesn't know anything about?
Yeah, you
Yes.
fake nerd.
I am sorry, I'm not a very good nerd.
Oh.
So
Dune is kind of like a sci-fi Lord of the Rings in many ways, in that it's far, far too long
so
and kind of not.
But what's it about?
anybody?
Okay, the Dune is a desert planet,
Yeah.
and it is there's a kind of galactic civilization, and travel between the civilization is only possible due to this substance called spice, which basically
Like
enhances
cayenne pepper.
sort of. It gives you kind of magical psychic powers, but it's only found on this planet called Arrakis, which is the Dune planet. So it's a kind of desert planet. And then there's kind of, in some ways, it's a bit kind of Game of Thronesy because there's these kind of two warring houses and lots of essentially drug taking and kind of religious things and yeah, you can't really explain it in anything less than a good couple of hours.
It is that, yeah, that's somewhat that sort of epic
Mm.
Well, I'm
sort
on
of
board.
story, but with a sci-fi setting, which would be refreshing, I think.
So
Yeah.
Legendary Entertainments are they're the company that are behind Pacific Rim, the new sort of Kong, Skull Island,
Yeah.
Godzilla
They
film,
do a lot of good stuff.
Interstellar.
Actually,
Quite,
It doesn't sound like they
of
do a
that.
lot of particularly cerebral stuff, though. They sound like they just do
No.
bombastic.
So
They have
that's
done.
what they've done so far. All we know is that they've got the rights to do it, but they haven't got any. Again, kind of like the Highlander thing, they haven't got any like director on
I'd be
board
up
and
for a
there's,
TV
like,
show.
nothing. Well, they kind of said that
I
maybe
think it'd be
TV would
better
work
better
better.
suited because that's the problem with the original one was it was unbelievably long and still cut out almost all of the story.
Yeah. There's basically everything. I had a video game of it. There's a board game of it. It was a big thing for quite a while ago. When it didn't come out.
It's late 70s, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty old.
If it kind of entices you into seeing it more, it had Patrick Stewart and Sting in it.
Oh, now I definitely have to watch this.
So we've got that, and obviously we've got Avatar we said about Avatar is
Avatar 2 is apparently
Avatar
going to
2
happen.
is apparently they've now like got
Don't
a
care.
bit more of a sort of release date for it because I really liked the first Avatar, so I'm happy for them to make more. I feel like they're
just
making
don't
quite
really
a
see
lot
the
of them now.
Nah,
I feel like
yeah.
originally it was like we'll do 2 and 3, but now I kind of feel like they're doing 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, and I feel like they're doing quite a lot of them.
I'd rather just not see that
No,
franchise.
like I
again.
like the first
Okay.
one, but I just don't. I don't see where they're gonna go with it. That's actually.
The first
like
one's good, but I think
yeah.
it's probably only good the first time you see it.
Yeah, like I've never felt the need to watch it again,
Yeah.
and I don't really feel the need to see any kind of further.
One of those
Thing
films
with
that
the story.
works really well in the cinema.
Yeah.
And then you watch it now and you're like, oh, it's not quite as good as it was watching it in like 3D and everything like that. But he is going to be making a few more of them. There's an upcoming 4 installments apparently, so there's 4.
Oh,
Could be
God.
4 of them, and they're filming them sort of back to back, really. So he's kind of filming them all at the same time.
See, my
So-
kind of memory of Avatar was that it was okay, but the kind of characters weren't really that unique or compelling.
No, it was a visual feast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. It's very,
was
it's very,
pretty
very
incredible
visual.
to
So it's not the kind of one that you got to the end of the film and think, oh, I really want to know what these people are going to do
Yeah.
next, sort of thing.
No,
I think
it kind of
the-
wrapped it up a little bit.
Well, interesting thing I know about the next sort of, well, the next few Avatar films is the fact that Sigourney Weaver is actually coming back, but as a different character.
How does that work?
I don't know. Let's just ask him. James Cameron, how does that work? Please tell us.
Dear
But
Mr. Cameron.
We're gonna have to wait until 20th of December 2018 because that's when it's been penciled for. So still,
I shall
Still-
be waiting on the edge of my seat.
great. So that's
I'll be
happening.
waiting on the other edge of Mel's seat.
Get off my seat, Christian.
I'll be on tenterhooks because I need to do some upper body.
And then again with like sequels and reboots and remakes and stuff like that. Just to kind of briefly talk about the Cars 3 teaser trailer. It's like the last
Yes.
thing.
Oh, that was
Because
disturbing.
wow.
That was a strange trailer.
Cannot
Yeah.
because I saw it. Somebody posted about it on Facebook, going, "Is this a kids' film?" And I was like, "What?" So I watched the trailer and I went, "Wow!" So if you haven't seen the trailer, put a link to it in the show notes. It's quite intense.
They've really kind
Trailer.
of jumped on the bandwagon of a lot of adult film, the style of a lot of adult film. It sounds like I'm talking about porn.
Cars 3, the
Aren't you
porn
always
version.
now?
I am always talking about porn.
Wow.
Oh, lower the tone. No, it sounds like they've kind of taken the tone of an awful lot of like Batman and things like that, like films that are made for
Films
grown
that are
ups.
unnecessarily dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like, but this trailer has kind of taken on the tone, and it's quite short, and it doesn't really tell you anything about
Yeah,
the
'cause
story, and
the
it's
teaser trailer, but it kind of just says. I mean, it seems like the main plot of it is that Lightning McQueen is a character that our kid, kids,
horrible
our kids, I don't have kids, kids,
your children,
our
Kaylee.
kids. No, I'm thinking mostly about my nephews watching because they've seen Cars 1 and Cars 2, and I can just
Yeah,
imagine
yeah.
them watching that. And the trailer is literally Lightning McQueen. It's a character they've grown to love.
Well, the
Having
cars,
some sort of big accident,
very big.
and that being the thing that
yeah,
kind of.
like a
That's it.
NASCAR race.
And it says like from this moment everything will change.
But the
And I'm
Cars
like,
franchise is
wow.
particularly kiddie even
Yeah.
for Pixar.
Exactly, and I think that's why
Yeah.
it's such a shock because we used to like it's quite fun and vibrant and things, and I think the animation for the trailer looks brilliant. Of the actual.
Yeah, the other thing about the teaser is that you don't see them doing anything other than being cars and driving around a track. You don't see them because they've all got personalities and whatever.
yeah,
you
but
don't
you
see
only
any
see the
of
back
that.
of them, don't you? So you don't see
You just
their
see-
eyes. And...
It's just a
Yeah.
race.
It's just a race. It could be from anything.
But it's
Yeah.
actually quite traumatic, I think, because Lightning McQueen, and he's there, and it's just you could hear the sound of his breathing as he just tumbles a bit.
He
of it
loses
falling
will,
off.
which
Loses
Christian
will.
said is kind of like dismemberment.
Yeah, it's like
essentially.
like a severed leg
yeah.
to these. That's what they are.
It's
These
actually
sentient cars.
quite because when it finishes, because it's quite short, but then it finishes, and you're just like, whoa.
You're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
What? And that's us as adults. I really want to know what kids' reaction to
Yeah,
this
it's very
is.
odd.
Should we get a bunch of children and force them to watch
You
the
just
teaser
kidnap
trailer?
some children.
See what
Okay,
happens.
that's
Put them
I
in
think
the-
We're
I'll
allowed to
just-
do that, right?
We
I'm
can do
gonna
anything.
say no.
Just not without consequences.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna just get my nephews to watch it and let me know what their feedback is, because I think it's pretty. If it's traumatic for us adults, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be
Yeah.
more traumatic. for
Yeah,
kids.
if you know that character and
Will
Yeah.
your
You know, there's
sister
a
be mad at
Simpsons-
you for traumatizing her children?
That should be fair.
there's a Simpsons episode where Bart shows Rod and Todd an Itchy and Scratchy
Oh yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And they're kind of
yeah.
like,
It's
you know,
gonna be
in
that.
shock there, and they're going, "What's that red stuff coming out of Kitty's ears? Should I poke Todd with sharp things like the mouse did?"
So
What else we
yeah,
got, Kaylee?
that's pretty much the end.
That's
I
it.
heard something
That's
though.
it.
I don't know if any of you guys have heard this before. I was reading a magazine earlier. I can read, guys. I was reading.
Sorry, it's like just want to let
I've
everybody
learned.
know
That's
that I
what
can
I've been
read.
doing over the week. No, but so we were talking about Beauty and the Beast earlier and
Yes.
remakes and all of that jazz. So Disney have announced that one of the other live action remakes that they're going to do is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do a
Apparently.
slew of them, I guess, aren't they? Those
Yeah,
two?
they're doing
there's a
Mulan
whole
now.
bunch that they're doing.
Haven't they
They've
already,
kind of
haven't they already
announced
done
them
that
in
with? Well, I suppose it's not the same story, is it? But there was a Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yes,
Yes.
but they're going
Oh,
to
yeah,
they're
yeah.
going to do a version where it doesn't have Kristen Stewart in it, and
Oh,
therefore
right, okay.
it isn't ruined.
Oh, on a slightly sadder note, I don't know if you saw today, Shepherd Book from Fireflies died.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
2016 continues to be a bitch.
Ron Glass. Wasn't it?
Yeah, Ron Glass. Yeah, Joss Whedon did a really touching tribute. I thought of him on,
Oh, I haven't
on
seen that.
Twitter that I saw and kind of liked because it was just a clip from him in Firefly and had a little bit of a tribute in front of it. Yeah, 2016's been a bit of a.
2016 is
sucks,
just
man.
a terrible year.
2016
evilness.
has been
Can
a
we
really
just like
terrible year. And
reset?
I think we have
No,
to,
I don't
like,
want to do this again.
No, but like reset and do something completely different.
I
Like,
feel
David
like-
Bowie comes
But
back.
hey guys, 2017 will begin with Donald Trump being sworn in as president. So
Yeah!
it's bound to be a better year.
It's all going uphill from
Dun,
here.
dun, 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 dun. Sorry,
So we all know Kaylee's feelings on that
that was
one.
my dramatic thing.
It's called the Death March of Saul.
Yeah, Death March. So yeah, do you want to talk about Black Panther and the cast and stuff and like all the racists being
Oh
unhappy?
yeah.
Maybe we can
Let's
talk
throw
about
that
that.
in quickly.
All right, great. So Black Panther released an image of their cast. Now that
Yep.
they've added some sort of more people, they've added Angela Bassett to the cast, and they've had a big sort of photo of all of their faces in a row. And yeah, I mean it's called Black Panther. We know it's set in Wakanda
Wakanda in Africa.
in Africa. And they're all black. All the people
Shockingly.
that they've cast.
Dear Lord, no, that's
And
completely
there's-
inaccurate.
Plenty of very angry white people who like,
Really?
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Really?
it's been
Oh.
Yeah,
a
the
really
internet's
interesting
full of these
backlash to people of people kind of going, well, I knew it was Wakanda, but why are they all black? And you're just like, no, what? Just, and-
They're
But
not all
most-
anyway, because it's like I think someone said it was like 95% of
Yeah,
that cast.
I
Which is
mean,
fair enough.
we
Which
know
is
that Andy
fairly
Serkis
accurate,
is going
yeah.
to be in
Yeah.
there. We know that Martin Freeman is going to be in there. We know that Captain America at one point is going to be in there. Bucky
Oh, is he?
is
That's
like
cool.
in the country, I suppose.
Are they going to black up though?
No.
That's that.
No.
That might be a bit
No,
racist.
no.
Yeah, that might be a problem.
What's been really interesting, I found, from the fact that since they've unveiled the image, is there's been like two different sides to it. Number one has been people going, "Oh, none of the cast is white. That's really unfair," and all
Yeah,
the
it's
famous
really
reasons.
unfair.
Yeah, as opposed to all of the other films that,
There's
are,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, white people never get in films, man.
And the second half of that is the fact that I saw quite a lot of comments to it on Facebook that was just kind of going, "Oh, it's quite sad, isn't it, that like Chiwetel Ejiofor isn't in it because he's in Doctor Strange." I was really sad that like Morgan Freeman isn't in it. I'm
Well,
like,
so you
okay,
put
they're
like a
just-
few black people in it, so you have to put all the black people in
Exactly.
people
So
now.
there's literally like the
Denzel
the
Washington.
comments I saw was just people kind of going, "I was quite sad that that black person isn't in it." I was like, I don't think they're
That's not how that works.
that's just that's like slightly more
Yeah.
racist. I feel you're just kind of going.
I
Well,
like
not
black
a lot of
people. I
black
just like
people.
these specific black people.
Exactly, and I just thought that was a bit of a weird
That's a
reaction.
weird- that is a
to
weird
it.
reaction.
Yeah.
The-
I
people
think it's
just
going to be awesome
listing.
because he's like one of the best characters
Yeah,
in Civil
Chadwick
War.
Boseman is great.
Remind me who's playing Black
Chadwick
Panther.
Boseman.
Oh, yay!
He's great.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
looking
we've
forward
seen
to
him
that.
He's really
in
good.
Civil War obviously already to kind of set up his character. I've also seen him as James Brown. He's great in that film.
It's
So-
James Brown.
Yeah, he played James
Yeah,
Brown. They
he
had a
was
James
good.
Brown biopic not
Biopic,
that
yeah.
long ago. He it was called Get On Up. I want to say.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to check that. But
That is a
Yeah,
James
no,
Brown
that
song.
sounds-
so.
yeah, and yeah, it was one of those films that is a brilliant performance and a slightly not as good film.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's great in it.
But he's great in it, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I'm really
get
looking
on
forward
up,
to it. I think
of
it was really cool. And I like the way that they squashed his origin story into Civil War, so we now don't have to worry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
We can have
You
it
exactly.
don't
again.
have to start
Yeah,
from the
we know
beginning
who he
again.
is. Just do a film.
Yeah, exactly.
It was kind of really well, kind of
Yeah,
woven
yeah.
into it as well. You know, it's kind of completely unobtrusive, but you know pretty much all you need to know to.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think the
Civil War
cast
was-
looks awesome. The
Civil
cast
War
is a
was
really
one of
good
those
cast.
perfect films, isn't it? That just achieved everything that it
Yeah, yeah.
set up to do.
But no, I think the
Actually,
Black
so
Panther
well.
cast looks really good. It's
Yeah,
really
there is
strong.
some really interesting thing. A lot of people were kind of going, well, Michael P. Jordan is in this film, and he was in Fantastic as well as the Human Torch, wasn't he?
But I feel like
Is
a
he the
lot of people
Human
are just
Torch?
pretending
is he still
that
the Human
didn't.
Torch? And you're
No.
like, no,
No.
he's not. He's
I
gotta
think
be.
he's
people
one of
are
those
just
Marvel
counting that as
villains-
something that didn't
So, yeah,
happen.
I might have to double check what it is, but I can't remember. But he's one of those Marvel villains with a terrible name. Like his name is Killmaker or something like that. what is his? Find out his name.
I'm going to find out his name. Okay, I'm going to do that. Yeah, I actually wasn't
kill
sure.
a Manjaro.
Didn't actually deserve that laugh, but you got it. So there we go.
You can take.
I
it to the
think
bank.
it is actually an achievement in like
Yes,
Halo or something like that.
Eric
Kilimanjaro.
Killmonger.
Eric Killmonger.
Oh,
That's his
God.
name, it's
Yeah,
actually
just
Eric
one of those
Killmonger.
Marvel people in the Marvel universe who is just doomed to grow up to be a villain.
Yeah, maybe he's not. Maybe
Like
he's
Victor
like
Von
a,
Doom.
really nice guy.
maybe he's a really nice
No,
guy.
he's the villain.
Well, there we go. Spoiler. Sorry for everybody that doesn't know.
Yeah, Killmonger.
So that's pretty much the end of the movie news, and then yeah.
Yeah.
I realize listening to this podcast how many times we end sentences with "and yeah."
And yeah.
And
whatever.
yeah, that's what happened.
And that's the thing that happened.
Like we start off strong and then we just kind of fade off to the end of the sentence.
That's the
yeah.
end of movie news. That's the
End
end
of
of movie news.
Well, we've got stuff.
Jingles!
That
No
was
jingles.
We're amazing.
that was to the tune of Mr. Plow by
It was.
The Simpsons.
Yeah,
Right,
I know, I'm really
We need
sorry
some
for that.
a moment of silence so I can segue into the next section.
No. Don't mess up.
So I know that Kaylee has something she wants to talk about, but what have we all been watching at the moment? Matt, you've said you got to the end of Gotham. Did it hold you all the way to the? Well, you got the end of what's on Netflix. There's more.
Yeah, it's the first
out?
2 seasons, and I think the third season has started on real TV, as it
Okay.
were. So that won't come for a while. But actually, I kind of started to get better again. Actually, I
Okay.
felt it sort of dipped in the middle of season 2 a little bit. But yeah, it started to. It finished a bit more strong, I think.
I remember Jay mentioned he's grown to hate what's the name? Fish Moody.
Fish Mooney, yeah. She was in the first series. She was a kind of mob underboss, and then due to the kind of the politics of it, something happens to her, and then kind of like okay, she goes on quite a strange journey after that.
Okay.
But then there's quite a lot of strange journeys that come in.
Well, speaking of superhero universes, I've been trying to get back into it because kicking off tomorrow is the 4-part crossover, the 4-part CW crossover of Flash, Supergirl, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow. So I've been trying to catch up on those shows, apart from Legends of Tomorrow because I'm way too far behind on that. I don't really care anyway. But I've been trying to catch up on Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow.
That's the spirit,
Well,
Christian. I don't.
That's
give a
the
crap.
thing, is it's too much. There's too much television to watch at the
Yeah.
moment. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've got very behind on Supergirl, mainly because I've been watching
Yeah.
something else, which I'm going to talk about in a minute.
But I've been trying to catch up on those 3, and I've also started to get back into. I watch these things whilst I work, so as well, so it doesn't help. I tend to miss things, but I've also got back into Agents of Shield. I gave that a try.
Yeah, again, I really
the Ghost
need
Rider
to get,
series.
Yeah, I need to get up to date on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It's good
as
actually.
well. Yeah.
I'm a bit down on Agents of Shield, and I moaned about it on the first episode of the show, but I think this season's actually been pretty good. They're introducing, the Ghost Rider side of the universe. The only problem I have is that Ghost Rider goes, well, the devil told me, and then there's ghosts showing up, and the Agents of Shield are like, ghosts aren't real. I'm like, really? That's where you draw the
Yeah.
line?
That's the thing. It's completely improbable.
Yeah, your job is to catalogue and discover weird things and deal with aliens
Yeah, but
and
not
magic and stuff. But
Ghost. That's ridiculous.
yeah, there's like
Yeah.
why you
Why
don't,
that particular one?
It's to the point where they don't even bother to ask follow-up questions. Like, because it's just the devil gave me my powers, and they're like, we'll just ignore that. And like, no, your job is to find out about these things.
Yeah,
So that's slightly annoying, but yeah, no, but it's working out really, really good at the moment.
cool.
Kaylee, I don't think you've watched anything lately, have you? No, nothing you want to gush about at all.
Yeah,
Aw,
I
listen
have
to
to. Okay. So Christian knows this obviously because our beginning of our relationship was literally every like Christmas, birthday, anniversary was you buying me the Gilmore Girls on
Yeah, it
DVD.
was. Yeah.
So now I've got all 7 series. I've been literally counting down to Gilmore Girls Year in the Life coming up on Netflix, and then completely binge watched it on the Friday that it was released, pretty much as soon as I possibly could watch it, and it is the most perfect thing there's ever been on TV ever.
If anyone doesn't know, they released 4 90-minute specials. That's basically 4 movies of the
Yeah,
Gilmore
so
Girls
4
on
mini
Netflix.
movies, a year in the life, because it started with winter and then it went on to spring, then it was summer, and then
Yeah.
it finished with autumn.
So yeah, every episode is a different
Or
season.
fall, as the Americans call it.
Yeah, and it was I had really, really, really high expectations for it. And it was, I mean, there's no other words to describe it. It was the most perfect thing I've ever seen on TV. It did everything that I wanted it to do. It was everything that I wanted it to be. It was kind of a bit like an emotional roller coaster. I did quite a lot of kind of nostalgic, of kind of going, yay, there's a woman just going, la la, la la. And I was like, yay, I'm so happy. And then there was like seeing the characters again. Then there was all the fast sort of dialogue that they have, and then
Yeah.
there's all the fact that you see like kids that in series 7 have just been born, and you see them grown up, and that's really sweet. And then
Right.
you get to find out I mean, I love the characters so much. and
How
it's
long
so
has it been?
nice. About 9 years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
Is
a
that
while.
from series
hasn't it?
1 to
No,
So
from
series-
from the
series-
end of the
series-
show.
the end of
Series
it?
7.
Oh, right,
so,
okay.
so just to kind of like paint a picture book kind of quickly, is the fact the series there's a woman called Amy Sherman Palladino and her sorry, I've just
Daniel Palladino.
Daniel Palladino, and they're the sort of writing team. And when it got to the end of series 6, there was a bit of a like disagreement, I suppose, with the studio, and they ended up carrying on series 7 without them. But Amy Sherman Palladino always said that she always had an idea in mind of what she wanted Series 7 to be like, because they kind of got cancelled without really knowing, so kind of finished without anybody really being ready for
Yeah,
it.
no conclusion.
So it had a bit of a conclusion, but the fact that the fans have just been waiting for
People
this
were
moment.
not happy with the last series either,
Yeah.
because it didn't. Because I mean, it has a very specific style,
Yeah.
and it's very difficult for somebody else to come in and
Yeah, so
and
they got
do
like a
the
brand
same
new
style
as
writing
this.
team, because
Yeah.
what Amy was doing was she was kind of asking for more writers to be part of the team to kind of help them out a little bit, and then rather than kind of agree to that, they just kind of chucked her out and replaced
Yeah,
her with
just-
writers.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Series 7 wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good, and it
just
you
lost
know
a
that
lot of the energy as well. I
you
felt like
know
the
that it
cast
didn't end on her terms. It is quite sad because obviously she's the
So
creator.
was it originally written just by 1 or 2 people, then, you say?
So it was originally created by Amy, yeah.
Yeah.
and
Because
with-
generally American shows, they have a team of writers.
So it was kind of like her baby, and she
Yeah.
created it, and it's absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love the Gilmore Girls. And then now that we've kind of got to like the 4-part series, it's just that nothing can kind of describe the joy, I think, of kind of revisiting a show that you absolutely love and seeing what characters have been doing. And I think it's just one of those shows
It is
that
being-
I could have laughed, and then I was crying,
Yeah.
and
It is
then I
being
was just...
hugely well reviewed, so they've obviously really
Yeah.
done it well.
Yeah, it
I
is
haven't
one of
seen it
those
yet.
ones of you
I'm gonna
kind of
make you
think,
watch it.
I've
are
seen the 7
they
series.
are they going
Yeah.
to be able to come back, because it is so well, the series is so well loved.
Yeah,
That you kind of think, well, if they're going to do another, it's like when they do a film of a TV series. It's like, you're like, you could screw this up so badly.
yeah. It
It'd
had,
But
be a
they
lot
have done a
easier to-
really, really
it had-
good job.
Yeah.
A lot easier to mess it up than it is to satisfy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
exactly.
had such like high expectations as well. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much every single Gilmore Girls fan has been like counting down to Friday 25th of November,
know
like waiting
one-
for it.
One thing I did notice with this one, and it's nothing to do with it's badly written or anything bad about the actual show, but it never really occurred to me before. So the lead, for anyone who doesn't know, one of the Gilmore Girls,
Yeah.
is Rory, who's the daughter.
Yes.
And she's always like the sweetest character. Like, she's really nice to everybody. But then you actually look at it, and I realised this watching this last series, she
Yeah.
has a terrible penchant for taking other people's men. And I was looking at that, and I was like, do you
I
know what?
mean,
Actually, she's not.
I was
she's
gonna-
not that nice.
I was gonna say, did you watch the rest of the Gilmore Girls? Because she's done this for a while now.
Yeah, I know.
One of them was
which is-
married at one point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like she gets this image of being like proper like goody two shoes girl,
She
and then
does
you're
have-
like, if you
yeah.
actually look at what she does, she's a bit of a bitch.
I think that the one of the best things about the show is the fact that you've like the for Matt, who obviously doesn't know anything about this, the whole story about it is the fact that there's a woman called Lorelai who gets pregnant when she's 16.
Right.
and
okay.
then raises her daughter.
It's her
Rory. She
relationship
calls her
with her
daughter
daughter.
Lorelai after her, but they shorten it to Rory.
Right,
And
okay.
so there's the two of them. Obviously, they are Gilmore Girls, and it's
Oh, is that
about
their surname then?
Yeah.
so they
okay.
so she's called Lorelai Gilmore and Rory Gilmore, and it's just about their relationship and the fact that they grow up together as like mother and daughter, but they're also best friends. And then it's like her relationship with her parents, because obviously she got pregnant and she left her family. And then it's also the fact that like Rory's dad, and then it's
And they live in the
village, and
craziest
they live
town
in, they live in a
ever.
crazy,
Like, it's a tiny
crazy
town
sweet
that
town.
have loads of festivals,
Full of
and they're all nut jobs.
Weird people.
full
They're
of weird
nut
people like
jobs.
Kirk. I bloody love Kirk. And
Yeah.
so it's
They
one
are
of those shows
hilarious.
that's just perfect. Really, it's a brilliant show, and I think
Pitch to Matt. Pitch.
yeah, at some point I'm gonna pitch a Gilmore Girls soon. You have to watch it. But yeah, I cannot stress enough how amazing the whole thing was.
Yeah,
Now, you
but-
get to the end. I'm not gonna say what the final 4 words are. It's a big deal, but
Oh, yeah, it's a big thing. The
the-
final 4 words are apparently perfect.
They are.
so what
pretty
happened
damn
was
good.
Intriguing just for that alone.
Yeah.
when she originally like wanted to write series 7, apparently she was going to end it with these 4 words, but then obviously
And that'd be the end of the show completely.
Yeah, but the fans have wanted to know what
We
these
wanna
last
know
4
what
words
those words
were
are.
for the
For, like, 9
right,
years now.
okay.
So it's
and then it got to the end of the series. I'm not going to say what they are, but got the final 4 words. And Christian, it was about like 1:15 in the morning or something like that, and I'm just at my TV just going, no, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
no,
I was in the other room
yeah,
watching Supergirl with headphones on,
yeah.
and I suddenly hear just Kaylee going, ah, ah, ah. I'm like, what the hell?
And I was just like, I was crying. I was very emotional. I was like pretty much fanning myself at one point because I was like, what's happening?
Control
I
your
had-
cable, Kaylee. You keep whacking it.
I'm sorry. So I
She's
had like a
fanning herself,
massive,
Christian.
massive sort of freak out. I think it was just perfect. I made like a lot of notes while I was actually.
You did. What was your first
talking
note?
about it. So I'm just gonna go briefly through my
Well,
notes.
we haven't got time for that. But what was your first
Okay.
note?
My first note was just me going la la. la
really
la.
that's a note,
La,
Kaylee.
If you know the show, that's very significant. Just to say, it's not just random lawing from Kaylee. It does matter. It is-
right.
My
Okay.
first notes were E.
Again,
That is a note.
I feel like you
Yeah, that's less
are
significant.
using the term notes very loosely.
Actually, my
Or
first,
very
I suppose
literally.
my first
Very
proper
literally, yeah.
note was, no Edward Herman with a sad face, because that was
Well, yeah,
that was
because
very
they
sad.
can't really put him in it.
no,
because
but
he's
they did
not-
that so
alive.
well.
Well, is
That
he a
was like
serial killer or
mostly
something?
where
He's,
most
no,
of
he
them-
he played
died.
her. He played the father. Her,
yeah,
Lorelai's father, but he died. The actor died.
Oh,
in
the
real
right,
actor
life.
died
okay,
in real life,
yeah.
and
So they had to sort
they
of
had
feed
to
that
like
into
bring
the show.
yeah, exactly, and they do that so well, and it just makes you cry.
Well, just when you first showed the trailer for the new series, and it was just them at a funeral, and like, oh god, that's his funeral, isn't it?
Yeah.
It has to be. You have to
That
have
Yeah.
literally
you have
just
to-
makes everyone go, oh,
Yeah.
God.
But if you've I think everybody that is a fan of Gilmore Girls would have watched it by now, and it's amazing. It is. I'm gonna just say it again. It's the most perfect thing that's ever been put on
Yeah,
TV
you've said that many.
ever. I'm just gonna say it because
I mean, she's not overselling it.
I
At
mean,
all,
a lot
but it is
of
the
a
most
lot of
perfect
my
thing
notes
ever.
is just me kind of going, "This is the most perfect thing ever."
Yeah,
While I
I'm
make
gonna
that.
have to catch up on that at some point. But
Yeah.
it is 4 movies essentially.
Yeah,
It's-
so it is
it
4
6
movies.
hours of
It
content.
is a
That takes
lot of
time for that.
binging, but I think
And I'd like to not watch it whilst I'm doing something else, like I do most
yeah,
things. I'd
exactly.
like to actually sit down and watch
I
it.
sat down and I watched all of it one after the other, and yeah, full attention for the whole
Mm.
thing. So yeah, it's definitely the best way to watch it. So that's what I've been watching.
Excellent work.
Moving on.
Moving on.
La
La,
la la. Love it. I love the La La woman. She's brilliant. I love her. I want
Yeah,
to like
it's just I don't know, what is it? Like, it's not the theme, but it's
no, because they don't have the theme in the ones
what's
on
the word
Netflix now.
for
Leitmotif?
maybe it joins the scenes together
Yeah.
almost always.
Oh, right, okay. No, leitmotif is a kind of bit of music that you associate with a character or something.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's
No,
just-
it's not
just
that.
the show
It's
in
just
general.
the fact that they kind of
Sort
have
of
lots
linking.
of like
It's a linking
establishing shots.
Transition.
Yeah, sort of a transitional music between scenes
And
Right,
it's
okay.
almost all the
brilliant.
time.
And it's just the same woman just going.
And it
"La,
never gets
la."
old. Yeah, it does actually
Brilliant.
never get old, weirdly
No,
enough.
it's great.
And it does alter the mood, and the mood it does depend on,
Yeah.
it's very well done.
It's brilliant. I like La La woman. If you're listening, we love you. I've called her the La La woman.
Mel, have you seen anything fun lately? We've just been watching the Gilmore Girls as well,
Well,
apparently.
I have been incredibly busy.
You
sleep.
have a life. You don't need to watch TV.
No, I worked a lot this week, and I don't do the sort of job where you could watch something at the same time. I'm an actress and a waitress. Cliche. So neither of those jobs am I allowed to watch anything whilst I'm working. They won't like that. So no, I really haven't had that much time, and the tiny 6 hours that I did have time, I did watch the Gilmore Girls. So nothing else.